Chapter 6. Finding Your 3 Reasons. There is no royal road to anything. One thing at a time, all things in succession. That which grows fast withers as rapidly. That which grows slowly endures. Josiah Gilbert Holland. By now, you have likely revealed your primary pivot point. You will need this to move on to the next step in your journey. Your primary pivot point is your charter, your mission statement, contained in a few words or a short phrase. When you know it, it's time to move on to your 3 reasons for getting up every day. These are the specific beacons that keep you in alignment. This is the description of your purpose. There are only 3 reasons. Each one is vitally important and contains the most significant continuing lifelong declarations. Although they can be whatever you decide, these are the ones that continue to count the most in your daily life, guiding you throughout this lifetime. Your 3 reasons do not change. They are born out of who you are at your core. Most of all, your 3 reasons should remain fully supported by your primary pivot point. Think of these ideas as a tangible framework for supporting the fullest expression of your life's purpose. This requires work. It is a discovery process, not a creative process. You are looking for things that already exist and have existed in you. Being too general is a cop-out, and being too specific is far too limiting to be an authentic life purpose-driven declaration. These statements are designed to create a life of consistency, not merely a tool to attain a goal. This step aims to provide a constant energy source for the life you are born to live. Use a pencil, as you will likely modify and change this list a few times to get to the core of your purpose. If you've experienced a lack of clarity and conviction in your life, this step of the process will clear the mental clutter and focus your efforts on the coming steps in your unique pivot point process. As with the primary pivot point chapter, I thought it might be helpful to share how I came to find my 3 reasons. I realize this may trickle into memoir territory, but my intention is to provide a visualization of the thought process needed for our next pivot point process step. My 3 reasons. Throughout my life, my family had a menagerie. Horses, dogs, cats, chickens, a pet pig, a pet pigeon, snakes, Tom, the female turkey, snapping turtles, a flying squirrel, and more. I cannot remember a time when I was not rescuing or caring for an animal. I spent a season in Mexico working in a veterinary clinic with a brilliant veterinary girlfriend. During those long months, we provided general preventative care, spaying and neutering dogs and cats, performing endless miscellaneous surgeries, and suturing wounds on injured domestic and wild animals alike. My greatest lesson from a life spent around animals is that animals connect humans with a deep level of compassion. I have felt that unique animal-engendered compassion growing inside me every year of my life. I am so grateful to my parents for providing that marvelous menagerie of animal connections for our family. Roots of compassion run deep in my family. Both my mother and father were affectionate and giving, not only with animals and each other, but with our extended family and community of friends and neighbors. My mother could frequently be found helping a neighbor or teaching her daughters how to throw a ball properly. She was always there to lend a gentle helping hand in between her mountain of daily household chores. During the rainy months on Pine Island Bayou, we would rise as a community to build sandbag walls around our neighbors' houses to protect them from the seasonal floodwaters. This would regularly go on for multiple days and nights. All these things and more contributed to the first and most important of my 3 reasons: deep and profound connection to life and living. Next on my 3 reasons list is a healthy body and extreme 3-dimensional physical movement. From my earliest memories, I have climbed everything. According to my mother, there were serious discussions about modifying my crib with a roof to contain her infant escape artist son. Within a couple of years, trees, poles, cabinets, buildings, and anything in the opposite direction of gravity was a target for my insatiable desire to experience life in 3 dimensions. My first job at 4 years old was neighborhood cat rescuer. It was odd to me how and why cats became stuck in trees. But there was a consistent supply of cat rescues to be had on Piccadilly Lane in Beaumont, Texas. Yes, Piccadilly spelled with one C. As time marched on, it became clear that jumping, climbing, and sometimes falling were not a fad in my life and later paid off with a lifetime of opportunities. When I look back at my life, this obsession with three-dimensional physical movement was not only apparent to me, but to anyone in my orbit. I am fortunate to have the genetics for this type of movement. I've also been aware from an early age that eating well and keeping my body strong and flexible gave me an edge in the activities I enjoyed most. My sisters and I were fortunate to have a mother who rose every day with the sun, ate well, and stayed in shape. She never bought soft drinks or junk food and cooked balanced meals. When we were thirsty, we drank water. I cannot remember a time when I was not healthy and strong, all thanks to some lucky genetics and a mom who practiced what she preached. The last of my three reasons is technical and creative. The power of music, the written word, poetry, and technology. My cousin Joe Hayes gave me my first guitar, and I began to play it at 12 years old. Music consumed me as a teen and has followed me throughout my life as the steadiest companion I have ever known. In the words of the late great John Denver, "This old guitar gave me my life, my living," is an anthem of sorts to me. At 21, I played my first professional gig at Carlo's, an Italian-Greek restaurant owned by a Greek couple named Gus and Marie Kariotis. While playing at local restaurants, I attended college. I completed my Bachelor of Science in Industrial Technology in the Department of Industrial Engineering. But after graduation, I traveled around the country playing music gigs from Bemidji, Minnesota to Santa Fe, New Mexico to Biarritz, France. Throughout human history, art in all its forms has provided humans a shortcut to a deeper emotional connection. Art has the power to dissolve boundaries and inspire greatness. Being afforded the gift and opportunity to play music for audiences my entire adult life has created the deepest connections I have known. Music helped me carve my path into television production, where I landed my first television job on a documentary series for the Discovery Channel. I worked on 26 half-hour documentaries thanks to an unexpected opportunity to write a theme song for the program. The following 3 years were filled with international travel, learning filmmaking, sharing meals, stories, and adventures with people of many cultures all over planet Earth. The one thing we all have in common is experiences. I hope that you can use these stories as a guide to home in on your past and begin the process of uncovering your story and what makes your life unique. Your task in developing your three reasons is to recount and procure the lifelong experiences that define the best in you. While life has its challenging moments when we are not at our best, this is the time to put that aside and focus on a self-actualized state. These powerful memories are the source of your greatest potential. If you are listening to the audio version of this book, the Pivot Point Effect website has free graphics you can use if you are not following along with the book. The graphic below illustrates my personal pivot point process so far. Use or draw this graphic and fill in your primary pivot point and your three reasons. While I strongly encourage you to use LRKG as your primary pivot point, your three reasons are about you and should capture your uniqueness. Paper will do, but I recommend, if possible, investing in a whiteboard for these exercises. Pro tip: one inexpensive and elegant solution is to go to your local big box hardware lumber store and purchase a sheet of shower board. This whiteboard version is usually under $20 and easy to mount on the wall with a few anchor bolts. Brand name whiteboards this size can run hundreds of dollars. This is where you will do what I call dreamstorming. This list can change and be updated, but your final list will only include your top three. Like the primary pivot point, take the time to complete this step with a meditative and introspective approach. One way to know that you've found the real gems is how you feel after writing them down. They should give you the same deep feeling of gratitude, feel complete, and support all your subsequent ambitions when you see them on your list. Remember, that you are migrating toward living a more stoic, inspirational, and exceptional life. A life that inspires those around you to look at the individual before the ideology. It is vitally important to keep your lists free of ideas that could negatively affect others. If things have been a little dark in your life, now is the time to shine some light on your choices. Now is the time to pause and take a good, long look at why you're here in this life and on this planet. Once you have your working 3 reasons, it is time to move to the next step in our pivot point process. In the following chapter, we will begin the task of identifying your gifts and talents.